Hello to my friends on YouTube. This is Sayorius, and we're doing something a little bit different. So I am currently streaming. We just streamed our drawing session over on Twitch. So if you want to check me out, it's at Sayorius on Twitch, same handle. But one of the dilemmas I've had recently is when making Kagurabachi content, I've been a little bit, slow in pumping out just chapter breakdowns. And one of the things I wanted to do is sort of speed up the process by integrating my stream into it. So we not only have sort of just Kagurabachi breakdowns, but I also do it on stream too. So this is the first time I'm doing it. Let me know what you guys think. But it's going to be kind of the same thing along the lines. So that was just my quick intro for my YouTube folks over there. Let's get straight into the chapters. So the way it's going to work is I'm also going to read this live and then share my thoughts also. So I haven't read chapter 51 yet. So that's what we're going to do right now. So this chapter was really fun because this was all about just learning about Mr. Samura's powers and the way that he operates. And what's cool is that you learn two things about him. One, that he blinded himself on purpose, which usually isn't the case with these types of stories. It's usually someone blinds him. So it's kind of weird that it's kind of like, no, I did this to myself to make myself stronger. And you think that, oh yeah, because he has a nice keen sense of smell, that his smell, he's going to be like Tanjiro here. Gain the ability to track down enemies that way. Nope. It's only good for people he's familiar with or his friends. And what he actually uses is his ability to, the ability of sound, or his keen sense of hearing to not only detect where an enemy is, but by using echolocation, by sheathing his sword, which is so cool, by the way, he's able to detect like where exactly the enemy is based on like the sound reverb, the reverb of the sound, which is like, honestly, I didn't even think that was even possible, but you know, that's still really cool. We got an awesome action sequence of him just taking out everyone. And everyone realizing, it's almost like a Kill Bill moment, realizing they're out of their league, they're out of their depth. There's no way they're going to be able to stand up to him at this point. So we got a really cool raid on the sanctuary. Of course, they're fending off, pretty cool. You have a giant Buddha statue and him apologizing with one, smoking, and two, killing them in the presence of that Buddha statue. So that was also a really cool moment too, of him like saying, yep, I'm a badass, but I'm sorry, I'm still like like he still respects that Buddha and the sanctuary that he was a part of. So yeah, overall really great panels. Like that one, oh my goodness, him just slicing open that one person with that huge panel, fantastic. And when we jump over to 52, I was expecting more of the fight, but we actually jump over to Chihiro, and first we get a flashback of basically him and Hiyuki talking about the sorcerer group, the Hishaku. Yeah, I forgot the name for a second. The Hishaku being active again after 3 years. That's also when Chihiro started being a little bit more active. And they're basically just talking about, oh yes, they're back now. They're being a little bit stronger. And it cuts back to that one-on-one that Chihiro has with that one sorcerer who's also 18. And I don't think we get his name yet. He's just a guy who is part of the Hishaku. If we don't get his name, it probably means he's gonna die during this fight, this arc. So nothing too big. And we get actually this big reveal that he actually isn't fighting Chihiro right now. He actually used it as a diversion, and he is using, I think they mentioned it was like another sorcerer, but he basically can substitute almost like clones in Naruto, you know, substitution clones, but with paper. But he basically uses that to attack Chihiro. And I think he mentions that during this fight that they were hiring sorcerers that can help them. They may not have like keen fighting paralysis, but the sorcerer group has been looking for their other people who have these abilities to sort of help in the fight. And so it kind of adds to the world building that not all sorcerers are part of the Hishaku. It's just the Hishaku are some of the most overpowered sorcerers, and they're just outsourcing sorcerers, basically, in a sense. So that's going to be interesting to see, like, if we're going to get some more, I guess, revelations with that, because we did get that one panel with in the first arc with Cloud Gouger, that one sorcerer who can use those exploding dolls, that he basically was recruited. He already had the ability. It wasn't like the sorcerers gave him that ability. So it just goes to add to the world. Like, sorcerers just exist first and foremost within this world of Kagurabachi. They're not necessarily evil. It's just that these evil sorcerer groups, or this evil sorcerer group known as the Hishaku, are just hiring them. And it kind of reminds me of JoJo in a little bit, because, you know, Dio would just hire stand users. Stand users by themselves aren't necessarily bad, like as you saw in part 4. But in part 3, most of them were bad because Dio was clearly going out of his way to hire them. So I'm sort of seeing some parallels here with JoJo, where, you know, oh yeah, there's sorcerers. There's the sorcerers that killed Chihiro's father, but then you also have sorcerers that are just being hired as kind of hitmen. So that's pretty cool. And it sort of ends kind of abruptly. You see this fight between Chihiro and those clones, and there's like a weird dialogue session between him, and I don't know if it's a passerby, if it's a person who's also part of the Hishaku, but the main villain here is just talking to him during a play, and Chihiro busts through the roof, chasing him down, decapitates some guy, and then faces him down, and it's pretty sick. It's a pretty sick panel. So the last one is just both of them looking at each other, saying, look, we're both the same age, we both understand each other, and it's going to be interesting to see how this ends up playing out. If this guy is going to be like a Killua situation with Gon and Killua, or is he just going to be another villain of the week that they're going to destroy, or Chihiro is going to slay at the end of this arc. So it has yet to remain to be seen, but I am interested to see where the story goes from here. But yeah, I think so far this is probably a really great chapter, a couple of chapters, just because we see sort of a highlight on Mr. Samura and his abilities. Like I mentioned last chapter, or the last 2 chapter discussion, I was talking about how we wanted to see what Mr. Samura's abilities were going to be, and now we got them, and they're pretty cool, especially with the reverb and using the sheath, closing the sheath, like the sword into the sheath, as sort of a way to detect where enemies are. That is just mind-blowing. So that's really sick to have that character come into the story. Then you also have Chihiro sort of fighting this villain who seems to be like, he has a screw loose, don't get me wrong, but he also has the potential to be someone a little bit more interesting, especially because we don't have his name yet, and he is a fan of Chihiro, and especially with villains who admire the heroes, it leads to some of the most interesting interactions. So probably not the best couple of chapters, but they are still pretty good, so they're up there. I would give them both 8 out of 10s in terms of my rating, but yeah, I think overall it's pretty good. I love the art, and Kagurabachi just proves to, you know, everyone that this is just another great manga. Now people are saying, is this gonna be the next big thing, as people are hyping up? I don't think so right now. They have a couple of great arcs. To me, it's building up to something amazing, and I think this arc is going to be fantastic, especially with the last arc. So we had the Cloud Gouger arc. That was the first arc that we had. We had the arc with the Rakuzachi, the auction, and the Sazanami family, and now this third arc with the sword bearers. And if anything has proven track record wise, last arc with the Rakuzachi, that was really good. It was fantastic, and it ended really strongly. So I am hoping that this next arc, it's just building up right now, so I don't have any expectations at the moment. I hope that this ends up becoming even better than the last, and it's just an upward trajectory where each arc gets better and better. And a lot of popular manga don't necessarily do that. Like, for example, Demon Slayer. I think Demon Slayer was really good at the start, and then you go into Mugen Train later down the line, and Mugen Train was pretty awesome. And then you had the Entertainment, which was peak Demon Slayer. And then after, you follow with like a couple weak arcs, like the Swordsmith Village arc, and the Hashira training arc. And then you of course have that big fight, which is very hype again, but again, it's sort of downhill. And I hope Kagurabachi doesn't do that, where it like has a couple great arcs and then goes downhill, and then has a couple great arcs near the end. I hope that it just keeps going up and up. That's what at least my hope is. And yeah, that just basically wraps up our Kagurabachi chapter breakdown. Thanks everyone for watching, and if you want to watch me live, I stream on Twitch every Sunday, Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday. And we do everything from drawing sessions. I've been practicing my sketching live. We play some Genshin Impact, and I'm starting to do more manga reviews. I was thinking about doing more manga reviews live. So if you want to stop by there, you can check me out over here on Twitch. Or if you just want to stick on YouTube, I would definitely appreciate that subscribe. I'm going to do sort of more reaction content, while also trying to do more breakdowns. I'm going to start doing that a little bit more. I just need to get back into a normal schedule. And yeah, that's just pretty much it. And I'll catch everyone later on YouTube. So yeah, I'll catch you guys in the next video.